Hello, hi, and welcome to the first Cryptid File stream in Spooktober this year. Hi! If you're new here, hello, I'm FEARSONA, you can call me Sona, you can call me Fear, and I'm your friendly neighborhood true crime VTuber and also a cryptid hunter, here to give you full body chills. And you guys, I've got a story for you today. Like today's cryptid, today's story is a lot. It's gonna be a lot. Listen, it's gonna be a story of fear, misunderstood intentions, and, you know, the man's best friend. And that's, say what you will after this story, you know what? Say what you will. You can say whatever you want, but this is a story about a doggo, and doggo is the absolute MVP of this story, and you know, I will not be convinced otherwise. But okay, before we begin, I just wanted to say hi to everyone. Who do I see? Wait, first and foremost, Eric, thank you so much for modding the stream. And who do I see? Alberto, hello. Rune S. Ashley Eastman, hello. Zoniel, hi. Fabian, hello, my regulars. Jose, and the John Active, and DMJ, and Demon Taker, hello, hi. And Baller, welcome. Ashley Eastman, hi. And I think Ashlyn Brown was here. Yeah, hi. Hi, Sona. You're talking about my favorite things, cryptids. Awesome. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying this stream, this series, and you're excited to hear about another monster from West Virginia. And I don't know, West Virginia is just, I think it's a West Virginia triangle, cryptid triangle. That's the only explanation. So you guys, everyone's already like, poor doggo. Okay. Don't worry. Like it's gonna be something. It's gonna be something. Please don't tell us you're going to clap this cryptid as well. I'm just gonna smile at that, huh? The doggo, the goat. Yes, the doggo is definitely this story's absolute goat, and I will not be convinced otherwise. So Sona, been a while. Yeah, Silver, thank you so much. And Shai, thank you so much for modding the stream. Also, Cesario, thank you for the super chat even before the stream started. Cesario said, oh no, Sona's found another cryptid she wants to touch the butt of. Okay, listen. Okay, this one is gonna be kind of difficult because it doesn't have a butt per se. So let me explain. Well, I mean, I'm gonna explain in a minute. You guys, before we begin, I just wanted to say again, thank you so much for celebrating my channel's 4th year anniversary with me last week. Well, I mean, no, this week. What am I talking about? Kind of last week. Last week? This week? This week. There was part 2 was on Monday. But thank you so much for celebrating my channel's 4th anniversary. 4th year, going strong, not stopping, no intention to graduate or, you know, like disappear without a trace. So you guys don't worry. Unless I will only disappear if, you know, MIB has something to do with it, you know, the Men in Black. Like, if they come for me, CIA, FBI, because they are tracking this channel, like, I'm pretty sure they're watching my videos. Hi, agents. Hi, Agent Smith. Hello, how you doing? How are wife and kids? Good? Okay. I didn't survive an ASMR stream. Oh no. Thank you so much for tuning in to my first ASMR stream. It was a little bit awkward, but I did not hate it. So it was pretty fun. Like, in the end, it was pretty fun. Don't say the G word. No. She's 4 now. Yeah, I'm 4. Hey. No, the channel is 4. Come on. They're never gonna find you. Never! Unless I stupidly go to West Virginia again, because, you know, you guys know, like, I went to West Virginia just recently, and yeah, like, I saw Men in Black. Like, I was filming. I got it on tape. I got it on video, so I have proof. I have evidence. They were there. I don't know if they were looking for me, but I was blending in with the crowd, so maybe that's why they didn't find me. But strangely, I've seen them around the festival like a couple of times, and like wherever I went, like after a while I would see them, and I was like, am I being followed? Is this happening? It's happening. Or if you accidentally activate facecam. Oh yeah, that's true. They had their opportunity to get you. No, they didn't get me, but they had the opportunity. Okay. What else? That's pretty much it. So this is the last stream of this week, and next week I'm gonna do another Donathon goal that we've reached. So I'm gonna play a Rage Quit game. That was 1. 2, I'm gonna send out the letters and the poster to my top tippers, like top 3 tippers. So top 3 tippers are gonna get... Why did I say it so many times? Who the fuck knows? So top 3 donors during the Donathon stream are gonna get a letter with a little Halloween drawing. You might have seen it on Twitter. I've finished 2. I just have 1 more to go, and I'm gonna send it out on I believe Tuesday, Wednesday, depending, because it's a holiday in Taiwan on Monday and Tuesday, so the post office might be closed. But I will send it out as soon as possible. And top 1 tipper, which was IDK Bacon, and they're gonna get, he's gonna get like a poster, well, print. So yeah. And the top 3 donors were IDK Bacon, Shy Shy, and Ketsuya. So hey, congrats. Thank you so much again. All right. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for this? Are you guys ready? Okay, let's do this. So, you know, make yourself comfortable. Get your blankets, get your snacks, get your tea, because you know, this is gonna send chills down your spine. This is gonna be good, but also you need hot tea because you're gonna shiver. Okay, so let me change the music. Let's go. Let's do this. Is it working? Is my music working? Oh yeah, it's working. Okay. So the cryptid we're going to talk about today is one that I found out about during my trip to West Virginia last month, as I mentioned. As some of you may know from my previous streams, last September I went to Point Pleasant, West Virginia to attend the annual Mothman Festival, where I had an amazing time, and most of all, I got to touch the Mothman's juicy butt. I left my swirly swirls on those juicy cheeks. Yeah. Priorities. So it was at this festival that I learned about another cryptid from West Virginia that I'd never heard of, and one that looks so strange and so fucking weird that I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like it before. Today, we're going to talk about the mysterious Flatwoods Monster of West Virginia. So, the Flatwoods Monster, also known as the Braxton County Monster or the Green Monster, is a bizarre and terrifying entity that has been a part of West Virginia folklore for over 60 years. And I call it an entity because we don't actually know what it is, if it's a living being or a machine or an alien or none of those. So it's been reported to be a very large in size, like large creature in size, anywhere from 10 to 14 feet tall. It has a man-like figure, or it is a man-like figure, but with a green-colored metallic body and claw-like hands, as you can see in the image. It has no legs and hovers over the ground. Some say that it's like lower half. As I said, like it's not, like it should be metallic, but like some people say that its lower half resembles some kind of like flowy skirt, while others have described it as resembling a V2 rocket. The most striking feature is its head, because it has a red, round face with a cowl or hooded-like shape around it, similar to the shape of an ace of spades. Set in the head are 2 eyes, which emitting a creepy greenish orange light. And so, which one is it? Green, orange, 2 very different colors, not even close to one another, like on the color wheel. So take it as you will. I don't know. Either green or orange. I'm just I don't know why I made that sound, but I don't know. So, the Flatwoods Monster is also known to emit a foul-smelling odor that causes people to feel nauseous, sick, and can even cause death. This monster was reported to be sighted in a town called Flatwoods in Braxton County, West Virginia. On September 12, 1952, 3 boys aged 10 to 13 were playing football on the playground of the Flatwoods Elementary School. There were 2 brothers, Edward and Fred May, and their friend Tommy Heyer. So at 7:15 p.m., the boys saw a strange, bright object in the sky. It looked like a ball of fire, and this is quote-unquote ball of fire, and appeared to be the size of a house. So the object circled around a hill that was on the property of a local farmer named G. Bailey Fisher. The object seemed to pause, then it began moving downward as if to land on that hill. So the boys rushed back to Ed and Fred's home, where they found their mother, Kathleen May, and their distant cousin, 17-year-old Eugene Lemon, who was a member of the West Virginia National Guard and happened to be visiting them at the time. The boys told Kathleen and Eugene all about what they saw. So they all decided to head over to the Bailey Fisher farm to investigate. Because that's exactly what you do when you see a ball of fire descending on your town. Somehow, because clearly this has to be made into a bigger party, and it's totally safe to do so. 2 other boys, 14-year-old Neil Nunley and 10-year-old Ronnie Shaver, also tagged along. Even the community dog, whose name was apparently Ricky, invited himself to the expedition. And I ask, where are the parents? Where are the parents, I ask? I can stand behind the doggo because doggo on adventure, but holy shit, where are the adults at? Like, the whole ensemble of kids, and they just like, oh yeah, we saw a ball of fire. Huge ball of fire the size of a house over a hill on this farmer's land. Let us go there. Let us go there and investigate. We're the right people to do so. Not the fire department. Yeah. So as the group reached the top of the hill, they saw a pulsing red light, apparently, coming from a glowing red orb in the ground. The air was filled with smoke and a very acrid smell. As they approached, they noticed that the object turned out to be the shape of an egg or a saucer and was the size of a small house. It was hissing and whirling, and all around there was this very thick mist. So at this point, and you guys are gonna be as distraught as I am, Ricky the dog ran ahead of the whole group, and into the mist. No! No, Ricky! No, don't do that! And as it got closer to the object, the dog got closer to the object, it started barking and howling, and eventually the dog became terrified and ran away, its tail between its legs, because it's smarter than humans. According to some reports, when the dog ran back to town, it allegedly started vomiting uncontrollably and then died. And there was something in that mysterious gas that may have caused it. R.I.P. Ricky, the only smart one in this group, but also forever in our hearts. So Kathleen May, oh no, I knew it. See, I told you guys that Ricky the dog is gonna be the MVP, and also everyone's just like, no. Yeah, me too. I was just like, Ricky, no. Don't get close to the mist, but he's just like, okay, I'm gonna investigate ahead of everyone, and then the dog knew that something was bad. Okay, so Kathleen May and the group of boys, not understanding the possible danger they were facing, got closer to the object as well. I'm sorry, did you not see what happened to Ricky the doggo? Did you not learn anything from the superior being that is Ricky the dog? I guess not. So the oldest boy, Eugene Lemon, aimed a flashlight in that direction, and that's when they noticed the monster. There was a large figure standing next to a tree. Based on the size of the tree, the group estimated that it was anywhere between 10 and 12 feet tall. They described it as a man-like figure, that's in quote, man-like figure with a round red face, surrounded by a pointed hood-like shape, end quote. So the figure made a hissing sound that was, quote, something between a hiss and a high-pitched squeal, end quote, and was gliding in the air. The monster also let out a pungent mist that caused them to feel nauseous. They learned nothing from Ricky the doggo. Come on. So what was most frightening was the monster's eyes, which apparently looked like two portholes or circular windows on a ship. And they were glowing as if there was a fire behind those eyes. Then the eyes shot out beams of light and the monster moved from left to right as if it was searching in the horizon. Suddenly, the monster started gliding towards the group, who turned and ran away in panic. They ran all the way back to the May family's home, and for a while everyone was silent, startled, and basically just processing what they had just witnessed. Shortly after, Kathleen May contacted the local authorities to report the incident, and the county sheriff Robert Carr arrived, but he didn't seem very surprised. Interestingly, he had actually just come back from investigating a report of an unidentified flying object. Earlier that day, Sheriff Carr had received reports in the nearby county called Frametown that a small airplane had flown into a hill and burned up. The sheriff hadn't found any evidence of a downed airplane or any fire in that area. So Sheriff Carr and a deputy listened to Kathleen May's account and went to the area of the sighting to investigate. Disappointingly, they didn't see or smell anything strange on the hill where Kathleen and the boys witnessed the horrifying Flatwoods Monster. Kathleen also contacted a local newspaper, the Braxton Democrat. So the editor of that paper, Mr. A. Lee Stewart Jr., came immediately and interviewed all 7 witnesses of the Flatwoods Monster sighting. So the following morning, Stewart went to investigate the location of the sighting and he made a shocking discovery. He found what he described as skid marks, and this is actually a picture from the newspaper of those skid marks. Like, you can see kind of like circular shape, like, oh, the grass is kind of gone, the bush is kind of gone. So he described it as skid marks in the field and was, and he saw another thing that was, quote, odd gummy deposit, end quote. And UFO enthusiasts believe this is evidence of a saucer landing. Initially, some skeptical locals thought that maybe a farmer had gone up there, like on that hill, and caused those skid marks on the ground. But apparently, there weren't any tractors that night or any type of mowing done in the area anytime around this, this day. The Braxton Democrat published the reports of the sighting of this strange green monster, and immediately it created a buzz. Unfortunately, the publicity of the sighting caught unwanted attention from none other, because you guys know what's coming. So this caught attention from none other than our familiar friends, the Men in Black. Here come the Men in Black, DMCA, Galaxy Defenders, DMCA. YouTube is gonna take down this video. Anyway, so apparently Men in Black who claimed to be from the US government arrived at the May house to investigate the sighting and take witness reports. More importantly, there was a piece of evidence that the Men in Black were particularly interested in. Remember the strange, gummy substance that I mentioned that was found in the area of the sighting? Well, apparently Kathleen May had gotten some of that substance on her dress on the night that they witnessed the monster, and the Men in Black took the dress and told Kathleen that they would return it to her after analyzing it. However, the men in black left, and Kathleen never heard from them again. And also, the dress probably ended up on OnlyFans or eBay or both, or I don't know. They just took the dress, and she's like, yo, that was my favorite dress. What the heck? Maybe it was like an important dress. Maybe she got it from her mom, or it was on discount or something. And she's just like, hey, give me back my dress. So yeah, the dress is gone. But here's the thing. This MIB incident wasn't the only encounter that Kathleen had with the government, because shortly after the sighting, Kathleen also received a strange letter allegedly from the Pentagon. The letter explained that the UFO sighting, like UFO seen on September 12th, were merely experimental rockets. And the letter also warned Kathleen to keep quiet and not tell anyone anything about the event. Yes, because this worked so well in the past. I mean, you know, have they not learned anything from these? And I mean the government. Has the government not learned anything from these events? And I mean, you know, with the government with their cease and desist letters, have they not learned anything? Because there's an actual term for this, and it's called the Streisand effect. Yes, Barbara Streisand. There was a whole incident. Anyway, I'm not kidding. So Wikipedia tells us that it is a, quote, social phenomenon that occurs when an attempt to hide, remove, or censor information has the unintended consequence of further publicizing that information. End quote. I mean, we're literally here today talking about this case in detail. How did that work out? Have they not learned anything from like other? No, they have not. Okay, that answers my question. Yeah, literally, they're like sending you cease and desist letter, being like, hey, don't talk about it. It's just a rocket. Nothing to see here. Nothing unusual, but don't talk about it. Don't tell anyone. Don't say anything. Wink, wink, hint, hint, hint. And everyone's just like, what? So how is that nothing? If you're like sending me letters to like shut the fuck up. Yeah, I'm gonna talk about it. They never learn. So if you think this scary letter from the highest defense government agency in America would scare Kathleen, well, it didn't, because we have learned from different stories. We have learned how this goes. Kathleen, a divorcee who raised her two boys as a single mom, was known in her community as being a feisty woman, and she was not one to back down. She was not one to shut the fuck up. So instead of, keeping quiet, as she was instructed by the Pentagon, she went on TV to talk about it, because she's just like, hey, I got a cease and desist letter from the government. Let's talk about it. Let me go on TV. And clearly the cease and desist letter from the government worked so well, because several days later, Kathleen and Eugene Lemon, this is the screenshot from that TV show, they were invited to New York to a TV show called We the People, and they talked about the monster some more. It's also in this TV show that Kathleen revealed her iconic illustration of the Flatwoods Monster, and you can actually see it here. This is the exact illustration, like that's what she drew. That's what she said the monster looked like. It was during this TV show that they gave the monster a name, the Green Monster. The story of the Green Monster quickly became a national sensation. Newspapers, radios, media all over the country reported on the appearance of the monster. Ufologists from every corner of the country also started coming into West Virginia to do their own investigations of the sightings of the strange green monster of Braxton County. One of the most notable ufologists who covered the Flatwoods Monster was one Gray Barker, who was a writer who actually is originally from Braxton County. At the time of the Flatwoods Monster sighting, Barker was living in Clarksburg, West Virginia. When he heard about the Flatwoods incident, he was immediately intrigued and went to Braxton County, where he interviewed Kathleen and the boys. Got the feeling, yeah, you know, cause I'm losing. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna get DMC'd, cause there's magic in my bones. Okay. YouTube, please don't take down this video. I really like this case. Okay, so he went to West Virginia to interview Kathleen and the boys, as well as other witnesses of strange alien encounters in that place, in the town. So thanks to Barker's work, we have today much evidence, like, you know, a lot of documentation about the Flatwoods Monster, including this series of drawings by 5 of the boys who first witnessed the Flatwoods Monster. And listen, I know there were 6 boys, but apparently the 6th boy, 10-year-old Tommy Heyer, was apparently like too short to see anything the day of the incident. Poor Tommy. I'm sorry. Tommy, short lives matter. Don't worry, I'm sure you've grown, you're 6 feet tall now. But yeah, at the time, Tommy was just too short. And he couldn't see anything, maybe for the better, because like it really traumatized the other boys. Anyway, going back to the drawing, so as you can see, like the sketches made by the boys are remarkably consistent, with the same round face and cone-shaped hood and like 2 round eyes. Like it is very similar, like all of them just drew the same creature. Okay, so Gray Barker would later publish his findings in an article in the UFO and Paranormal magazine called Fate. And also, so this is the article, and he also went on to write a famous UFO book, They Knew Too Much About Flying Saucers, that's the title, which has a section that talks about the Flatwoods incident. With all the hype and media coverage, soon several other reports emerged in the town of Flatwoods about similar or related phenomena. Several such reports were recorded by a UFO research group called the Civilian Saucer Investigation, or CSI for short, because why not? Not confusing at all. So allegedly, one of these accounts happened a week prior to the first sighting of the Flatwoods Monster on September 12, 1952. So this incident involved a mother and her 21-year-old daughter who claimed to have encountered a similar looking creature, which also let out a strange odor, like the sulfuric odor, smell, whatever you call it. And get this, apparently the 21-year-old daughter was so badly affected by the monster's odor that she was confined to a hospital for 3 weeks. 3 weeks in the hospital after some strange odor encounter. So the Flatwoods Monster didn't just appear in the town of Flatwoods. I'm going to talk about 2 other important sightings of the green monster that happened elsewhere. So the next sighting happened in a town called Heaters, which is about, I think it's Heaters or Headers, who the fuck knows. So this town is about 3 miles north of Flatwoods in West Virginia. It's the same state. A young woman named Audra Harper witnessed a similar creature sometime before the famous Flatwoods Monster sighting on September 12, 1952. And Harper actually typed out a detailed account of her encounter with the monster, and I'm going to read from that account right now. This is the actual account of Audra Harper. Quote, "One night, my friend and I started to go to the store, and we're taking a near cut through a field. We looked up on the hill and saw a fire. I said, I wonder who that is up there. And she said, oh, probably someone fox chasing. We might have said half a dozen words and glanced back up again, and this time it was a ball of fire. This time we couldn't take our eyes away. As quick can be. The ball of fire vanished and a tall black figure, 3 hides of a man, stood in the same place. We started running, crossed a barbed wire fence that I never even saw, and came to a gate. We opened it and my friend started to close it. It is right behind us, she said. I didn't think it was possible for it to have had to run twice the distance we did. I turned around and fastened the gate before I looked up. There it stood. I can't remember anything but just this huge black shape. We turned and ran through a field that in daylight you can hardly find a path between the rocks and boulders. Jay had the light, sorry, the friend. Jay had the light and I didn't have any, but I never even stumped my toe. I think God must have been directing my feet. We made it to the store half scared to death, knowing we still had to return the same way we came. We tried to borrow a gun, but everyone thought we were just imagining things. They didn't believe a word we said. Also, I'm just randomly borrowing a gun, like just walking. Okay, I get it, like you're scared, but like if I had a gun, like that's not your gun. Do you have a license? That's one. Two, I'd be like, hey, you don't really look very stable right now to handle a firearm. So, I mean, maybe that's me. Okay, so they didn't believe a word we said. We started back alone, but two neighbor boys had come down for a beer or two and they went back past this awful place with us. To have an experience like this and have no one believe us was terrible to bear. Then a woman and some children saw a huge form of a sword at Flatwoods, a few miles from us, and they even had her on television and wrote a big story about the Flatwoods Monster. I know we saw something just as bad. I'm 33 years old now, and there is no insanity in our family. I think I'm at least average in smartness, but think me crazy if you will, I will never believe anything else. End quote. So, wait, oh, my slides just like went wonky. Bad idea if you don't know how to handle it. I know, right? Like just like randomly, I would also be concerned as a like, oh, if I had a firearm and someone walked up to me, told me this crazy story and said like, hey, can I borrow your gun? I would be like, no, but I can help you get home. Maybe I have a car. Maybe I'm gonna just drive you. Maybe somehow something like, oh, clearly you're scared. Let me just go with you. Let me just like, or call the police. I don't know. Anyway, true Americans lend the fellow Americans gun at a moment's notice. I get it. But like, I think I would be like a little concerned, like hearing the crazy story. I would be like, maybe I'm gonna call the authorities. Maybe we should call the police. Like if you guys saw something that scary, like let's just handle this properly. Just stay as long as you can, like as long as you want, not can, but like as long as you want. Just stay here in the, you know, safety and just, you know. And also, yeah, firearms are expensive. I'd be like, hey, listen, you might as well like run off with it. And what then? Okay, so back to the story. Another significant sighting of the Flatwoods Monster happened in Frametown, West Virginia, another town in Braxton County that's around 20 miles away from Flatwoods. Now, this sighting is very striking because we possibly get the true identity of the Flatwoods Monster. It was an ominous night on September 13th, 1952, just one day after the terrifying Flatwoods incident, so September 12th, September 13th, the next day. Edith and George Snitowski, accompanied by their innocent 18-month-old son, were taking a seemingly ordinary drive through the West Virginia country roads. Take me home to a place I belong, West Virginia, Mothman Mama. Take me home, country road. YouTube, please leave this video alone. Please don't take it down, I swear. I'm just singing like one line. Come on. Have mercy. Also, I had to. I had to. Anyway, so they were trying. I'm sorry, I had to. We had to. I had to like sneak it in. Sona speedrunning DMCA. I know. YouTube, just leave it. Back off, YouTube. I'm not playing the songs. I'm just singing a little bit. Okay. So, as I said, they were just driving home, and suddenly the couple's car came to a stop and refused to start again. They started to get concerned and desperate as they struggled to revive the vehicle. While they were figuring out what to do, they became aware of this foul sulfuric odor in the air, and their baby suddenly started crying. Okay, listen. Babies cry for any reason. For no reason. They're hungry, they cry. They pooped, they cry. They smelled their own poop, they cry. Babies suck, okay? So I wouldn't take it as an indicator. The baby was probably just being a human baby and they just suck, so they just cry. They're fucking loud. Moving on. But the car I would be concerned about. The baby, no. Okay, so wait, because I have to compose myself. I started like laughing too much. So the couple, frightened and bewildered, the Snitowskis circled the car, you know, like they started walking around the car, checking for any indication like what might have happened. And the road was completely empty, and it was starting to get pitch black out there because it was middle of the night. So then all of a sudden there was this strange bright light. It wasn't from another car and seemed to come from like middle of the woods. So what the couple encountered next was a sight so grotesque, so unimaginable that it would forever haunt their darkest nightmares. About 30 feet away from them appeared a 10-foot tall figure that bore a similar appearance to the infamous Flatwoods Monster. From the waist down, the creature had a metallic base like a rocket, which was similar to the initial descriptions of the Flatwoods Monster. However, from the waist up, it was a bony reptilian humanoid figure. The creature had a bloated body with long spindly arms and 3 forked fingers. Lizard people! It's a reptilian human... Lizard people! That's it. Lizard people. That we know. We know now. Reptilian human... Lizard people! Okay. So, as the creature hovered in the air, it continued to spew out this noxious gas. The creature touched their car before drifting into the nearby woods, and the car suddenly started again. Wait a minute, hold up. Okay, wait a minute, hold up, because I just realized something. You mean to tell me that these people were freaking out, losing their minds out of fear over this creature, and the monster just wanted to help them fix their car? It was misunderstood. Wait a minute, do you mean to tell me that maybe their ship, like the monster's ship, well, the alien's ship, just like they were just passing by, and the ship just caused the cars to like, you know, break down, and they were like, oh no, I'm so sorry, don't worry, little humans, don't worry, little buddies, I'm gonna help you out. And people started freaking out, and he's like, oh, they're scared of me, they're scared of how I look like, oh, I'm sorry, okay, I'm gonna go away. No! Misunderstood! Okay, I still can't forgive them for killing Ricky the doggo, because that might have been an accident. I can't forget that, but forever in our hearts, like Ricky, R.I.P. But, you know, maybe the monster was misunderstood. Need some help, parents. Bug off, you freak monster. Ouch, my feelings. Yeah, seriously, maybe the monster was just like, oh no. Okay, listen. Although I'm gonna explain it. Also, Jose, thank you so much for the donation, and DMJ also. Thank you so much for being a member for 14 months. The dog is the adult, and Jose stares. You were a baby once too, Fear. Was I? No, I was like, I appeared. I appeared already. I'm like, listen, I'm like Samuel L. Jackson. I was never a baby, okay? I came out and I was just like, hi. How you doing? Poor Vicky. Wouldn't you freak out as well if you saw them for the first time? Okay, maybe a little bit, but like they, you know, he touched the car. He's like, oh, don't worry, little buddies. Don't worry, little monkey men. Or little humans. Little stick figures. I'm gonna fix your car. Fix your ship. And they were just like, yeah, scary monsters. Like, oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go. I'm feeling for the monster. I feel for the monster. I feel for the Flatwoods Monster. Lizard people. Okay, so the creature, later known as the Frametown Monster, is often regarded as the same as the Flatwoods Monster. Does this suggest that the true identity of the Flatwoods Monster is actually a reptilian alien, lizard people, in a metal spacesuit? In other words, the Flatwoods Monster could be one of the notorious lizard people. Since ever since that sighting, like the several sightings of the Flatwoods Monster in 1952, there haven't been any significant sightings of the monster again, which is quite strange. I don't know, we've had so many sightings of the Mothman. So now we ask the question, does the Flatwoods Monster really exist, and is there any truth to the sightings of the strange metallic monster in Braxton County? Well, as you might imagine, a lot of the initial reports about the Flatwoods Monster weren't exactly reliable, because the newspapers were mainly interested in writing a sensational story about a green monster, and many details were exaggerated and some even completely made up. Many people who covered the Flatwoods Monster story were motivated to make a name for themselves, so naturally a lot of the facts were made up or left out. Take ufologist Gray Barker, for example, this guy. So prior to the Flatwoods Monster sighting, Barker had been trying to make it as an author, but he struggled to kick off his career. But when he heard of the supernatural sighting, he saw it as a ticket to jumpstart his writing career, which it did. So Gray Barker was known for greatly embellishing facts, intentionally leaving out important information, important details, and not fact-checking any evidence he received. For example, remember the skid marks that he found, like that were found in the grass that was apparently evidence of a spacecraft landing? Well, that's been debunked. So in the year 2000, I kid you not, I'm not kidding with this name. In the year 2000, the Committee for Skeptical Inquiry, another CSI, because obviously we don't have enough of them. Keep them coming. That's, you know, just keep them coming. There's so many. This is not confusing at all, but another CSI. So in the year 2000, this non-profit organization that was founded to test and debunk supernatural claims with scientific evidence interviewed locals in Flatwoods, West Virginia, and made a shocking discovery. It was concluded that the skid marks and, you know, the quote-unquote landing evidence on the ground was actually left by a 1942 Chevy pickup truck belonging to a local resident, Max Lockhart. So apparently, this is the Max Lockhart at the site. Apparently, after news of the Flatwoods Monster incident had spread around the evening of September 12, 1952, Max drove his truck up the hillside to take a look that very day himself. So he drove off the dirt road and circled through the field, but saw nothing. No monster, no landing traces in the meadow grass, nothing. And get this, Max Lockhart was actually Gray Barker's old high school friend. Yep, the same guy who later wrote the book about the Flatwoods Monster. So eventually, Gray Barker actually heard about the fact that Max had driven up the hill with his truck and actually called Max personally to talk about the incident. But later, Gray Barker apparently admitted that he, quote, saw this as an opportunity to get my name in the print again, end quote. And he decided to conclude that Max Lockhart hadn't driven to the exact location where the skid marks were found and intentionally left out this detail. So, sure. Sure that, you know, you just thought, oh, this is not important, that there was a car in that very area driving around in circles. That's not important at all to mention. Also, remember that harrowing detail about how the community dog apparently died after getting too close to the poisonous mist emitted by the Flatwoods Monster, I think all of you will be very happy to know that it's been debunked. The community dog did run away from the scene. So Ricky was there, he ran away, but nothing bad happened to him. It was the detail that was completely fabricated by the newspaper, so this was not true. Ricky was alive. Well, now he's dead. So, you know, this was in 1950, so now Ricky is definitely absolutely dead. R.I.P. Ricky, forever in our hearts. But at the time, at least, he didn't die of the mist. So see, the monster was good. The monster was just like, let me fix your car. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I am terribly sorry. I ruined everyone's cars. Let me fix that. And the doggo is just like, woof, woof, wow, who are you? And the monster's probably like, oh no, don't worry, little buddy. I'm not here to harm you. And the doggo just got scared and the monster was just like, oh no. Okay. Ricky survived. My point being, Ricky survived. I don't know if you got the point from this convoluted story, but Ricky survived. That was the point of this little anecdote. I'm happy and sad now. I know, right? Okay. So, in addition to the problem of journalists and authors twisting the truth, one other problem is that many of the witness reports of the Flatwoods Monster are inconsistent. So take, for example, the famous sighting of the monster by Kathleen May and the boys. I got the feeling, yeah, you know. Okay. So while Kathleen described the Flatwoods Monster as having long arms and claws, some of the other boys described the monster as having no arms, and another boy described the monster as having small toy-like arms. Like you can see in the image, like on one hand it's like, oh, no arms. On the other hand it's just like, oh, little tiny twig arms. So the different descriptions of the Flatwoods monster's height has also been inconsistent. Witnesses have described it to be anywhere from 7 to 17 feet tall, which is a huge fucking difference. These inconsistencies do cast kind of a doubt as to whether or not the Flatwoods Monster sightings are in any way consistent, in any way true. And already there have been many theories that claim to debunk the existence of the Flatwoods Monster. So the first theory is that the Flatwoods Monster was actually just a large owl, which was mistaken for a strange creature with bright shining eyes. Okay, so apart from the fact that this theory is totally like unoriginal and was already used to debunk the Mothman, because some people claim that the Mothman is simply an owl, bear with me because there's a lot of points to this theory that actually do make sense. The theory is that the large owl was actually perched on a tree, which gave it the impression of being a very, very tall being. This part makes sense because if you recall the account of the first sighting, the Flatwoods Monster did make its first appearance next to a very tall tree, so, you know, it does make sense. So the theory also explains that the reason why the Flatwoods Monster appeared green in color was probably because there were bushes and leaves underneath the owl, which made the witnesses believe that it was a monster with green body. Like, you know, if they were shining a flashlight up the monster's supposed body, like it just, you know, reflected the light from the leaves. But what about this, you know, strange spade-shaped cowl behind the creature's face, you know, because I think that's the distinguishing, like, the feature of the monster, right? Like, oh, the spade-like shape, like a dome or a hat, or, well, not a hat, like a dome or some kind of helmet. So that's a detail that's so unique that it's unlikely to be mistaken for an owl, but actually there's a perfectly reasonable explanation for that. So theorists point out that owls will often spread and bend their wings when they're feeling threatened, which kind of gives the owl a shape that is similar sort of to the description of the Flatwoods Monster's head. See, like kind of behind and sort of in a cowl shape. So, you know, like it does make sense. I think this is a very interesting point and definitely presents a compelling explanation for the Flatwoods Monster incident. Another theory of the Flatwoods Monster is that simply it is just a person in this elaborate costume who was pulling a prank on the residents of Braxton County. This is an illustration by an artist who seeks to depict a plausible costume that may have been created. The theory suggests that someone could have held up an elaborate costume on a pole in order to make it seem like a tall monster. And remember the witness accounts claiming that the monster's eyes looked like they had fire behind them. Well, this theory claims that the actual candle fire was, could have been used to light up the ice. So it was actual fire. A little dangerous if you can actually see it in this, in the drawing. Wait, let me just pull it up. So you can see it in the drawing. Like if you look closely, like, oh, there's a candle like here. There's an actual candle to kind of like light up the ice and give it that, the flame look. So it makes sense. So while this is just a theory, it does make a point that the Flatwoods Monster could easily have been a hoax devised by someone, like some anonymous trickster in Flatwoods, West Virginia. But what about the bright ball of light that many witnesses saw flying through the sky right before the Flatwoods Monster appeared? Well, there's also a very reasonable explanation for the alleged UFO. So apparently, the Maryland Academy of Sciences confirmed that at 7 p.m. on September 12th, 1952, the exact moment that the May brothers and their friends spotted the bright object in the sky, a meteor had passed over Baltimore, traveling at a height of around 60 to 70 miles. And the meteor was moving in a trajectory towards West Virginia and was bright enough to be seen not only in West Virginia, but also Maryland and Pennsylvania. This is the most likely explanation for multiple reports of a bright light in the Braxton County area on September in 1952. So while these credible explanations of the Flatwoods Monster seem to, be enough to debunk it, I honestly think it's not an open and shut case. There's still some compelling facts about this case which I believe don't prove that the Flatwoods Monster is false beyond reasonable doubt. For one, unlike many cryptid cases we've covered in the past, some of the original witnesses of the Flatwoods Monster are still alive today to tell the story. Well, Kathleen May passed away in 2009 at the age of 89. Fred and Ed May, the two brothers who were one of the key witnesses of the Flatwoods Monster, are alive and they are well and still living in Braxton in West Virginia, and currently they are both in their 80s. So the two brothers still stick to their story to this day, despite all the convincing theories that debunk the existence of the Green Monster of Braxton. And what I think is compelling about the May brothers' testimony is that they don't have any incentive to make up this story. In fact, the May brothers say that when they were young, they were ridiculed and bullied a lot by other kids, because kids are assholes, in the community, who accused them of lying and making up fake stories. And it came to the point that they actually didn't want to talk about the incident for many, many years for fear of being made fun of. Oh, holy shit, kids are assholes. Man. People can be assholes. Okay, so this is actually a recent quote by Ed May after accepting a rare interview from a documentary, and this is what he said, quote, "To be honest with you, I wish it never happened. I wish it had never happened, and I wouldn't have to think about it. I wouldn't have to explain to people all the questions I get asked and all that. I'd rather it just go away. It's something you can't prove, and it just all comes down to trust," end quote. The May family also didn't make money out of the Flatwoods Monster story. When Kathleen May went to New York to appear on the TV show, like after that Pentagon letter, the cease and desist letter, and all the MIB sightings and whatnot. So her trip expenses, yes, her trip expenses were covered, were paid for by the TV show, but she didn't receive a dime for that appearance. Like, she did not get any money from the TV show, the TV station. And if the May brothers are as trustworthy as it seems, it's very significant because some details of their account are in contrast to the theories debunking their story. First, about the owl theory. So both Fred and Ed May are very adamant that what they saw that night was mechanical and not an animal. To this day, they are convinced that the Flatwoods Monster was not alive, but it was some sort of machine or robot. Second, the meteor theory. So the meteor theory, Fred and Ed May both are convinced that what the bright light they saw that night was definitely not a meteor, because it was moving in a way that suggests it was some kind of aircraft or spacecraft. And here is what Fred May had to say about this. Quote, "It wasn't like a shooting star or anything real fast. I mean, it was like floating down, and it looked like a ball of fire when it came down and over the ridge to where we could tell it went down." End quote. So it wasn't moving like a meteor. It wasn't like, you know, shooting through the sky. It was like moving, like intentionally moving through the sky. So if Fred and Ed May's accounts are believable, we can at least conclude that they did see something unusual and extraordinary that night, which so far we haven't had a complete explanation for. There is one last story which I think is very compelling evidence that something unusual did appear in Flatwoods that fateful night in 1952. And this evidence actually involves the Pentagon once again. So in April 1974, author Paul Sagan went to West Virginia to make an attempt to find more evidence of the Flatwoods Monster's existence. And he managed to interview a man named Colonel Dale Levitt, who had a shocking story to tell. So back in September 13th, 1952, the day after the infamous sighting, Dale Levitt, pictured here, who was a captain at the time in the West Virginia National Guard, received an order by the US Air Force to investigate the mysterious incidents that took place in Flatwoods the night before. So Captain Levitt said that he took a special team and went to the scene of the sighting near the Bailey Fisher farm. As they were investigating, Captain Levitt and his team allegedly found an impression in the ground approximately 20 feet in circumference, as if grass was mowed over and it looked like something had landed on it. His team also found a grease-type substance in the grass and noticed the grass smelled like burnt sulfur. They were then ordered to send all the samples back to the Pentagon. Does that sound familiar? Because if you recall, earlier in the story, Kathleen allegedly was approached by men in black who took away her dress that they sold on eBay later. So they took away the dress that contained the same oily substance, and she also received an ominous letter from the Pentagon to shut up about the incident. So, well, this isn't exactly a smoking gun piece of evidence. It does suggest that the government was definitely very, very interested in the Flatwoods Monster sighting, and they were also doing some sketchy stuff in the area. And there are also other reports apparently that members of the US Air Force also sent agents posing as newspaper reporters to question witnesses of the strange incidents in the Braxton County. So if this is all true, why, like, if this whole story is supposedly not true, like the Flatwoods Monster doesn't exist, there's a reasonable explanation, why was the government so interested in the incident? Why was the government sending agents into this area? And what did they find, you know, after taking the samples of the mysterious oily substance? We may never know the answers, but it seems quite possible that the government was involved with some kind of cover-up. So there was something going on there. So if we can believe the witness accounts of the Flatwoods Monster, And, you know, an even deeper question is, what is it? What is the Flatwoods Monster? The most popular theory, of course, is that the Flatwoods Monster is some kind of alien creature that came to Earth on some kind of flying saucer or spaceship. One theory, which I found very interesting, was that the Flatwoods Monster is actually a reptilian alien race similar to the lizard people. Lizard people! So this theory is that this alien is wearing some kind of spacesuit with rockets on the bottom, which explains why it's floating and doesn't have feet. So it's not, it's not the alien's body, it's like, oh, it's a suit. According to the theory, the monster which first appeared in Flatwoods was actually the reptilian monster wearing a metallic covering, metallic suit covering over the head and torso. And in the alien, when the alien revealed his body in the Snitowski sighting, it was reported that its upper body looked like a bony reptilian. So lizard people, again. I will say that so many times. Lizard people! So it is kind of a cast, it is kind of a suit. And the last theory I think is also very interesting is that the Flatwoods Monster isn't a living monster at all, but some kind of lifeless robot or a drone. I mean, we have drones. Literally, this is possible. And if there's a civilization that is much more advanced than humans, they will for sure have technology like drones to send to Earth for whatever investigations they are doing. So basically those drones were used by the mothership to search and scout the area. The beams shooting out of the monster's eyes were probably some kind of headlights or camera light or, scanners or some kind of thing. Both Fred and May, I keep saying Fred and May, both Fred and Ed May strongly believe in this theory. And here's what Ed May had to say about this. Quote, "The point I want to get across is that it was nothing alive. It was a mechanical thing that was pointed at the top and had portholes, which I've said in every interview I've ever had, and behind the porthole there was a light. You could see in behind, but I couldn't see anything. It's my theory that something landed up there and they put what they call a sentinel down there. So it's not," end quote. So I don't know why I just say it, but so it's not, it's not a living being. It's it's some kind of drone. So whether it was a lizard alien or some kind of remote controlled drone, it begs the question: what were these aliens doing on Earth? Is it some kind of scout that's preparing for an incoming alien invasion, or is it actually a peaceful alien exploring Earth only to be met with fear and hostility? Humans are assholes, man. They probably got freaked out and the alien was just like, no, wait, we thought we were alone in the space. We just wanted to make friends. But you guys are, that's why I wore the suit. They were like, okay, I'm gonna wear the suit. That way the little humans will not be afraid of us. But then people started freaking out and they're like, oh, okay, I will go. Humans are assholes. How dare us? I know, right? Okay, so while we may never know the truth about the Flatwoods Monster, it has without a doubt made a lasting impact in the community of Braxton County, West Virginia. While for many years, adults and children alike would be afraid to walk alone at night, today the residents of Braxton County have embraced the Flatwoods Monster much the same way as the Mothman has been embraced by Point Pleasant. In Braxton, West Virginia, there are various sites that are associated with the Flatwoods Monster, who has a very, very cute name, was given a very cute nickname, and the nickname is Bragsy. Bragsy the Flatwoods Monster! I can't, I love this, oh my god, I love this so much. West Virginia is the best. See, also West Virginia is very beautiful. Like, I have to say, the landscapes are very beautiful, but also Bragsy! What the heck? Bragsy, Mothman's butt. I am living my best life right now. Okay, so for example, there's the Flatwoods Monster Museum, which has various displays, cute figurines, and it even has the original drawing of the Flatwoods Monster drawn by Kathleen May. So the drawing that you saw in the, you know, in the TV show, sorry, in the screenshot, like, you know, the picture where Kathleen and Eugene are, you know, at the, whatever, like our guests at this TV show, like that's the drawing, the same drawing. And then there are also 5 iconic Flatwoods Monster chairs, ta-da, which are placed all over Braxton County and are very popular photo locations. So everyone is taking photos with these chairs, and it's fucking great. I want that. Oh my god. I did not know about this monster when I went to West Virginia, and like if had I known, I would have like convinced my family to like go there. They were already like done with my BS like at, you know, at Point Pleasant, but yeah, I would have gone there, but I didn't. Next time. There's always next year. Anyway, so there's also a very cool photo op board of the Braxton Monster, which was set up by a local burger restaurant called The Spot, where you can basically put your face through the holes in the sign and pretend like you're being chased by the Flatwoods Monster, who just wants to fix your car and be friends. Because that's the true story. I will not be convinced otherwise. He just wanted friendos. And apparently there's even the official Braxton County Monster Day, which is on September 12th and officially commemorates when the Flatwoods Monster appeared over 70 years ago. The Flatwoods Monster has even made an impact internationally and in pop culture, and most notably has appeared in video games such as Fallout, Zelda, and even various Japanese games. So the one on the top left is Zelda, the one at the bottom is Fallout, and then on the top right is like some kind of Japanese game, yeah, with the Flatwoods Monster. So hey, it made an impact. And yeah, like there's even a trip apparently, and like if you go to Braxton, like you can even ask a local like guide to kind of show you the sites in Braxton County or in Flatwoods, where like the same sites that are featured in Fallout. So yeah, the Flatwoods Monster is in games. And also, the true story of Flatwoods Monster is that he just wanted friends, and we are assholes, and we misunderstood, and just, you know, we can't have nice things, okay? We can't have friends, we can't have nice things, and we suck. Okay, so that is it for the story, but I have a couple of other things that I wanted to show you guys. I don't know why, but I found this and I can't get over it, and it's like fucking cute. Wait, some other stuff that I wanted to show you guys. I don't know who made this. Wait, where is it? Come on. Why are you doing this to me? Okay. Let me just pull it up. Cause that's basically it. But I found this, and whoever did this is a fucking genius. It's cute. It's adorable. I need this in my life. If you are the artist, please contact me. I need this. I just found the image. I couldn't find the sticker. I need the sticker. It's my heart. It's cute. Oh my god. It's amazing. It's amazing. Okay, wait. I did have like another... Oh yeah, the little figurines. Oh, little figurines are cute. Oh, this is from the museum. This is actually from the museum. It's fucking cute. It's adorable. It's great. You know... Look at this. Look at this. They're cute. They're adorable. Oh my god. Yeah. And that's it. That's pretty much it. But okay, let me just change the music. Let's change the tune a little bit. Come on. Yeah. Well, I mean, still Halloween music, but a little less scary. Also, you guys know you guys know these cases, you guys know Cryptid Files, you guys know what's gonna happen at the very end, because Intan-kun was involved in making the thumbnail, and several thumbnails were made, and some were rejected, for a few reasons. Okay, let me show you guys the thumbnails that I would be probably cancelled if I, you know, like they were rejected. I didn't use them because I was just like, come on now, let's not make fun of this. I mean, we could, but they're not that bad, but like some of them I would definitely get cancelled, or like the the thumbnail time. Okay, so this one was one. Oh wait, shit. Ta-da, wait. This was pretty funny. This was pretty funny. Okay, that's okay. This one wouldn't get me cancelled, but I was just like, I was just like, come on, let's be serious about this. Like, blast it, come on. That's what I'm like. No. We need something. We need something more serious. You know, like we have Men in Black. We have like, you know, we have. This was a serious case. Come on. And Intan kind of was just like, hold my beer. Don't worry, I got you. I gotcha. And then this one was born. Oh my god! Yeah, I was just like, no, we got. That's not what I meant. That's not what I meant. That is not what I meant when I said like, hey, we have Men in Black in this story. We have. We need to be serious. This needs to be serious. I was like, okay. I cannot. Oh my god, this was so good. Maybe I should change it. It's pretty good. But I was just like, hey, the Flatwoods Monster, like you can't see it, and also like, yeah. Okay. But then I was like, hey, listen, like, you know, like we need to be a little more sympathetic. It's not all about Men in Black. Like there was the, you know, like the doggo is there and everything else. And I was kind of like distraught, very distraught about the doggo at first when I was like reading about it. And I think Intan can, you know, read all the messages that I sent about the doggo being like dead. And so the last one was oh my god, no. Okay, that's the last one. I got yeah. I mean, listen, I could Intan needs a raise. So Ricky forever in our hearts. So that was the last one. Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna post these at least to like Twitter and my community tab, because they need to, you know, they need to see the light of the day. The world needs to see them. I think even if I don't use them for the, you know, for the actual thumbnail, like, yeah, the people need to see them. Oh wow, this would have break our hearts to find out Ricky was alive once. He was alive once, but he's not anymore. Ricky, forever in our hearts. Oh my god, maybe I should use one of them. You know what, like maybe I should use this one, or is YouTube gonna take it down? I think YouTube would take it down, because it would be like, well, come on now. We got this plan. Oh my god, those thumbnails are killing me. Okay, but that is it for today. You guys, thank you so much for all the donations. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I hope you guys enjoyed the case. And if you have a chance, if you have the opportunity to visit West Virginia, do go to Braxton County. Do go to, you know, just go to Flatwoods, visit the sites, take some pictures with the Flatwoods Monster chair, and get some like little figurines. I don't know, cute figurines, because it's great. Never forget. Thank you again, Intankan, for doing God's work. My god, I cannot. This is, oh my god, Intankan is gonna kill me one day. Okay, it's been a fun stream. This is a fun story. This was a fun story. I had a blast, you know, like this story needed to be heard, and Ricky the dog needed to be commemorated. So, you know, just RIP, forever in our hearts. Okay, so Was great. Thanks for the stream, Sona. Queen, you are welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. And again, to my mods especially, thank you so much for modding the stream. So Eric, Shai, Silverjack, thank you for being here. And that was a lot of help. That was huge help. And yeah, so this month, I think I mentioned it, but this month, every Monday we're gonna be having, every Sunday, sorry, Sunday US time. We're gonna have a Cryptid Files stream every week during the Spooktober, because it's spooky time. It's spooky, you know, spooky month, it's Halloween month, so I just wanted to cover a lot of cryptids. If you have a cryptid that you would like me to cover, and you think, doesn't necessarily have to be from the US, it can be from anywhere else. So if you have a cryptid that you would like me to cover, please leave your suggestions in the comments, because it takes a literal just minute to type the comment, or second even, if you just type the name of the cryptid that you would like me to cover. And if you like my content, if you like this channel, please do like the video and subscribe, because it's also free and you can enjoy a lot of streams and you know, gems like this one. Come on, you can enjoy this gem. That's, you know, or this, you know, you can have some, okay, yeah, there's gonna be heartbreaks, there's gonna be tears, but there's also gonna be laughs and just, you know, tomfoolery, because why not? Covered the Muffin Man. Put it in the comments, please, so that I remember, because like right now, like, oh, if you're sending it in the chat, like I can see it, but then I'm gonna forget. I feel like I'm afraid that I'm gonna forget, so it would be a huge help if you just put it in the comments under the video, so I can like write it down. I can remember you know, what you guys suggested. I can remember who suggested it, because sometimes I just forget who suggested it, and yeah, it sucks, because I would like to acknowledge and say thank you. Okay, that is it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. Always lock your doors and windows. Bury your hexes. Until the next time. And also, if you want more shenanigans, you can go to my Patreon. Okay, that's it. Bye. Bye. I'm sorry, wrong song. What the fuck is wrong with me? Why? I know, it's fine. Bye. Yeah, thank you. Hostage time. Okay, thank you so much for the super chat, but I am going now, so no hostage time. Bye.